I'm Brett Walter, founder and CEO of Climate Action Now, and I want to tell you how concerned citizens like you and me can tip the scales of power to help solve the climate crisis. Let me illustrate with a story. On Saturday, April 1st, 2023, word leaked out that the governor of New York was considering a backroom deal with the state's gas supplier that would have effectively gutted the state's landmark climate legislation, the CLCPA. Alarms went off throughout the climate community. A deal with the fossil fuel industry was imminent. Years of hard-fought, hard-won climate progress was about to be erased. What to do? On Monday, just 2 days later, Climate Action Now launched our Save the CLCPA Action Party. 200 concerned citizens in New York heeded calls from Climate Action Now, the Sierra Club, the Climate Reality Project, and other leading climate groups to join our virtual action party and hear about the backroom deal from New York Assembly member Emily Gallagher and activist Raya Salter. Bill McKibben moderated. In the space of an hour, participants used the Climate Action Now app to send thousands of messages to New York legislators and the governor with one simple message: don't do this. The next day, app users sent thousands more messages. And on Wednesday, just 2 days later, the governor backed down. This story illustrates the power of public opinion. Public opinion is the only effective counterweight to the immense power of the fossil fuel industry. The industry knows this, which is why it spends hundreds of millions of dollars trying to shape public opinion with disinformation. Even dictators and totalitarian states know this, or else why would they bother to control the media? So, public opinion really matters. Your opinion really matters. To drive this home, let's do a thought experiment. What do you think would happen if half the people in your town went down to the city hall to demand action on climate? Would the city leaders do something? Of course they would. What if it was 30% or 20%? What if it was just 10%? According to reports, 10% of Americans participated in the first Earth Day demonstrations. That outpouring of public support led directly to passage of two of the most important environmental laws ever, the Clean Air Act and the Clean Water Act, and to the creation of the Environmental Protection Agency by a Republican president. Social science research by Dr. Erica Chenoweth at Harvard, spanning decades and many nations, shows that just 3.5% of a population can bring about societal change with civil disobedience. But they only succeed when demonstrators have the support of the larger population. And that's why your actions can be as important as those who are demonstrating. And here is the core reason why public opinion is so powerful. We are social animals. We are constantly observing each other, listening to each other, talking to each other. This is how decisions get made. Politicians pay close attention to their constituents. How can they get reelected if they don't know what their constituents think? Businesses pay close attention to what their customers think. How else can they make money? The eminent climate scientist Katharine Hayhoe puts it better than just about anybody. The most important thing you can do to fight climate change is to talk about it. Talk about it. So your opinion is your superpower, but it doesn't count for anything if you don't express it. That's why we created the Climate Action Now app, to help concerned citizens like you and me take climate action and add our voices to the growing chorus of those demanding action on climate. The app does that by making it super easy for people like you and me to send personalized messages to decision makers and influencers. This can be done in just seconds with a few touches on your phone. The sheer ease and simplicity of taking action is why the Climate Action Now app is so effective. Shortly after we launched the app, Al Gore's Climate Reality Project documented that supporters with the app recorded 29 times more action than supporters using conventional advocacy tools like online web forums. We recommend that users take 5 actions a day. That can be done in just 1 minute. The average Climate Action Now user takes 10 actions a day. Compare that with citizens using conventional tools who likely take 1 to 2 actions a week versus 10 a day by app users. As I record this, just a few thousand users have taken over 1.7 million actions, sent over 1.4 million messages to decision makers, and planted over 170,000 trees in the process. This is an extraordinary record of activism by a relatively small number of people. Your opinion is your superpower, and the Climate Action Now app is your opinion multiplier. It is your megaphone. Now, you may be thinking that your opinion alone cannot really make a difference. Of course it can't. But you are not alone. When you send a message with the app, you have joined the movement. You become part of something that is bigger than yourself. You have added your voice to millions of others around the world who are speaking out in thousands of ways, demanding action. People ask me, do my messages really make a difference? My answer is, how can they not make a difference? The only way you can have no impact is by doing nothing. But every little bit you do now will reduce future harm by some amount. Speak up, and your voice will be heard. It will be heard by your friends and family. It will be heard by your coworkers. It will be heard by businesses who want your dollars. It will be heard by politicians who want your votes. And when the people in the halls of power hear enough voices demanding action day after day, they will act. You have more power than you realize. Use your power. Speak out, and together we can save the world.